Thunderfoot over the years has shown he has a good understanding of science, but of people, politics, and psychology, in my opinion, he has a lot to learn on them. First, he calls out Laura Sutherland for a mistitled video. He had one good point which he snowballed into 2 separate videos on her. So, shouldn't really surprise me or anyone else that he shows he's pro character assassination and that he would jump on the Milo hate bandwagon. Setting aside the fact that he glossed over the fact that Milo was in fact a victim of child abuse in his analysis of the situation, and that couldn't possibly play any reason in his apology for the jokes he made. Maybe he didn't think that the abuse of Milo had any factor in the situation, just like the progressive left movement doesn't think that gender dysphoria, I fucked that word all up, could be related to mental illness at all. See what I did there? Link Thunderfoot's logic to a completely different one? He does something similar twice in his video. Let's see if you can follow his chain of logic as he introduces his first comparison to Milo.
Just an opinion, right? So it's not like this is deeply rooted in anything. This is just a general picture of what I think actually happened. And that's that, you know, when Milo was first brought into all of this, his dangerous faggot tour and all that sort of thing, he was a superb Trojan horse to send into the universities under the guise of free speech, which I fully approve of. And he was a superb idiot magnet. I mean, I tip my hat to the guy. You know, if you wanted to make the loony left look loony, yeah, he did fantastically. The problem comes is when that gets really popular, people might actually start thinking that that's what Breitbart's all about. You know, basically just going in and trolling university students. Or that's what the conservatives are about. And honestly, drag queen conservatism isn't really the base.
University, we filled a 1,200-seater in 48 hours. I came out in drag, in full drag, as a drag queen.
Drag queen conservatism isn't really the base. The base is more, you know, well, I mean, you've got Steve Bannon, for one, who is making these apocalyptic end-time movies, Christian movies.
And now, trouble for the preeminent dynasty of our age.
In the beginning, God, but then the evil one, the father of lies, tempted them. Man shakes his fist at his creator and says, I decide what's right and wrong. God is dead. I'm my own God. Now all creation is subject to its bondage to decay. In the absence of God, the man with the biggest stick determines your worth. Caesar demands his pinch of incense. Violence, decadence, political anarchy, moral decay. Welcome to the city of man. That a human civilization's best chance of survival is to anchor itself in the God of creation. We are image bearers of God.
And he's also the advisor, one of the advisors to the president. And, you know, other people like Pray the Gay Away, Mike Pence. Drag queen conservatism, it's difficult to see it's got a future there, you know. Hell, even...
You really want to compare the fire and brimstone message of the right to having a bit of fun with drag? This is a joke, right? Piss off the left, amuse the trolls, right? If not, it proves that Thunderfoot does not understand trolling culture and its opposition to the left through outrageous humor. Moving on to the next deadweight Thunderfoot tries to tie Milo to, we have Miss Anna, let me piss all the gamers off I can, Sarnesia, and I don't care if I mispronounced her last name or not. The short version is, so what if Milo exposed some pedophiles? So did some other social justice warriors like Anita. After doing his best to establish that pedophiles are bad, something we already knew, and a bunch of skeptic and anti-SJW virtue signaling. he comes back to tie them to Milo. In fact, in a sly sleight-of-hand way, connects him to the same pedophile that he helped dispose earlier. I would reiterate my points from before, but here's a clip of Sargon of Akkad, since he explains it so simply.
Milo Yiannopoulos, whatever you think of him, is the victim of a child molester.
Thunderfoot obviously does not think of Milo as human. That's the only possible reason he's asking these questions. So I'm going to go through his basic questions and answer them under the hypothesis that Milo is human.
For me, I personally found the press conference very confusing from the start, in that he starts out by saying, no, this is all taken out of context. Taken out of context. And then he goes on to apologize for it. And it's like, you're apologizing for something that was taken out of context. And then he goes on to resign over this. And it's like, dude, you don't apologize and resign over something that is taken out of context.
I don't know. Maybe he was apologizing for all those people out there who were actually sexually molested and couldn't deal with it, as he probably had trouble dealing with growing up. And as why he resigned, he didn't want to bring down all his other co-workers. He believes in their ideals, so if he's going to get flack, he doesn't want it to reflect badly on them. He'll do his thing, and hopefully they will do their thing. As for your other question, probably your sole reason for making this entire video, well, the man answers it himself.
You know what would actually make a difference at this point is actually for Milo to come forward and say who those people at the parties were.
Because I think it's going to
dance
be...
around the facts.
Yeah, dangerous, but I can...
You want me to slow it down for you?
Because I think it's going to dance around the facts. Yeah, dangerous, but I can...
In case you still didn't catch that, he said dangerous. Because believe it or not, Thunderfoot, there are some dangerous people in the world. And the people in Hollywood, probably who host parties like this, probably are some of the worst. Am I saying that he is really afraid for his life if he exposes these people? I don't know. Maybe he has blackmail material keeping him safe. Maybe it's none of the above. Maybe it's exactly as you say. I don't know if you really live in that small of a world where no one in your inner circles or outer circles are any more powerful than you, but in the real world, there are a lot of powerful people who can make a lot of terrible things happen to people. So, that's all I got to say on the subject.